Hey guys, it's Roxy, and welcome to What the Sensation, the introduction video to the Doomsday Challenge. This challenge was written by Misty DW on Mod The Sims, and I'll put a link in the description below. This introduction video, I actually already have her created, but I'm going to edit her and have to remove her family members. You will see me do all that while I'm discussing this. There are 14 pages that I'm going to be going through. This is a very, very involved, is the best way I can put it, challenge. This challenge scares the crap out of me, but I'm going to do it, because I really, really want to. So this is a, apocalypse challenge, obviously. And I'm going to read the background, the backstory for this, and then once I introduce you to the sim and everything, when you meet her, I'll tell you at the end of this long page thing, I'll tell you her background story. Maybe in the next video when we start the challenge, I might tell you her background story there. I like to do it in the introductory video, but this is going to be very long. Very, very long to have to go through. So we are going to start with the background story. The world is not what it once was. Bustling cities are now barren of Sims' existence. A tragic virus has devastated the planet, reducing the population to near extinction. No one knows the source of the deadly virus. However, some speculate biological warfare or a scientific research experiment gone terribly wrong. The majority, however, blame the supernatural Sims, whose rampant arrival seemed to coincide, as if they released the blight in their merciless wake. Mass hysteria and crime threaten to destroy the fragile life that remains. In the name of saving Simkind, a group of government officials, scientists, and powerful businessmen have come together to create the Colony, a solitary sanctuary in a world gone mad. Here's the catch. Only the best and brightest contributors get to be a member. Survival of the fittest is a whole new level. Social elitism. Welcome to a world where average just isn't good enough, and producing a child that isn't a protege is considered polluting the bloodline. Good luck. Now, what I'm going to say about this is this Colony, which is actually a downloaded sim from I will put it link below. I want to say it's called My Real Estate. I'm not 100% sure. I'll put a link below. I believe it's called Meadow Glen. They obviously don't want no kind of supernatural creatures in here because they blame them, obviously, for the virus that has hit the world. So I will be turning them off in the game. They will not be used because they're obviously going to do whatever they can to keep them out. Now, obviously, there may be a few running around the world until that generation dies off. As you start to see them disappear in our story, that means that they are starting to weed them out of this community. The ones that have gotten in here, realizing that, these are probably, once they realize that they are a supernatural creature, they're going to weed them out because they don't want them in their community. To set up, you create your sim, obviously, according to the guidelines below. Afterwards, you choose a place to live, anywhere. I'm obviously using Meadow Glen. It looks like a smaller community. It's a smaller world. It's kind of like a quaint little town, which you will see here in a minute. And I kind of feel like it's a small town, and if all these powerful businessmen and scientists and government officials were getting together, and they were as late as they'd say they would want a nice little community, which you can see right here. And I will go to Edit Town so we can take a look at it. If it loads, maybe I can edit it. Yes, I can. So you will see that this is, maybe that wasn't a good idea. I don't want to do that after all. You will see that this is a quaint little, just a small little town, and this is what they built because they wanted, um, go away, you thing, and it will not. Maybe if I just click on some random sim, which I probably shouldn't click on a random one, I probably should click on them. But as you see, it's a small town. Um, and it's just, is there anything over there? It's a little bit more over here. This is more of the rural area. Part of the reason I chose this is because it is, you can't really see it. It is almost like surrounded by mountains. There's one road coming in and out of the town. And it's on this little waterway right here. Um, so they'll be protected. Obviously, back on these mountains, they have in my story, they have little towers and stations, and they have means to see if anything's coming that they don't want to get into the town, and so they're protected. They have a way to alert the town in case anything happens. Um, so So, this lasts, the duration is entirely up to you beyond the second generation. If you want to carry through to 10 generations, feel free. You can't travel outside of the colony because the world outside the colony is chaos and riddled with infection. The only exception is the university. Which you will learn in when I explained the story that this little colony, just outside where you can't see, has a university, which is where anybody who comes through has to go through. Um, they greatly want them to go through. It's like a little compound with the university, and then just outside the university there is where the screening area where they take people through and decide if they are fit for this town or not. Um, um, Set seasons to change every 7 days. So right now, you guys are just gonna, this introduction, you guys are just gonna watch me set this up. Every 7 days. Okay, that's how it is. Um, um, so cheating is not allowed unless permitted in the rules below, with the exception of mods that do not give your Sims advantage. Wooher, Mover, Overwatch, etc. are fine. We don't need any of those. Mods like Master Controller can be installed but not used unless specified in the rules. The Wooher Mover mods are used to allow teens to live on their own if you choose, or if adult Sims are evicted/die. You have their own children and have their own children. Karma Simtra can be used if you intend on being a prostitute. However, this is highly illegal in the colony, and so be prepared to use the criminal career guidelines provided. We are not going to do that. I start out with a single sim, the male, female, or a married couple. We're just going to start out with actually the girl, and we're actually going to after we read through this, I'm going to move her in. Your Sims must be fairly attractive. The colony is about reproduction of the beautiful people. The primary reason you were selected was your knowledge, skill, ability. Review the colony rules below. Select one for your Sim and give him or her the required traits. And I'll only go over the one that we're going to do. But there are more. If you want more in detail, because I'm just going to skim over this because it's so long. But if you want more in detail to what all is there, you can visit the page where she has originally created this. I'm assuming it's a she. It's a she. It could be a boy, but I'm assuming it's a she. Stylish dress is a must, so plan your outfit accordingly. No ripped jeans, clothing that doesn't make them look nice and clean, which normally my Sims will be wearing ripped clothing. And she's a country girl, so obviously her clothes are not, her personal style is not going to be up to their requirements. So, you'll learn more about her later, but yeah, she's gonna have to completely change what she looks like to be in this colony and survive. Your sim must be human. After all, this is a propagating sim humanity. I don't know what that means. If you want to add an additional level of difficulty, you can try to sneak in as a supernatural. Before you do this, read the eviction section below, as you may want to reconsider. We're just going to turn off the supernatural because they're trying to keep them out of this community because they don't want them there because they think that's the reason that the virus is spreading. So they're going to keep them out of their community. So there might be some there at the beginning, but eventually they're going to start weeding them out um, without trying to alarm the people that are already living in this community. Your sim must be a young adult. Teens are okay if you have them mover and woohooer mods that allow them to live on their own and get pregnant. No disabling age lifespans must be normal. Your sim, in addition to possessing the needed traits for his or her role, must also have at least one of the alpha traits. They are called alpha traits because the hope is that they will be passed on to the future generation. Alpha traits include ambitions, artistic, athletic, genius, perfectionist, and or workaholic. Okay, so why am I doing that for? Alright, anyways, and then your sim may not possess any of the following undesirable traits: absent-minded, clumsy, couch potato, coward, evil, grumpy, hot-headed, insane, kleptomaniac, loser, mean-spirited, mooch, neurotic, slob, and unstable. You can attempt to hide a bad trait, however, you'll be severely punished if you're discovered. See the eviction section below. The guidelines are the same as those for supernaturals. So there's one thing I want to check. So I guess we just move her onto any size lot. Setting up the house. Okay, so we'll go through a little bit further. University is optional for most roles. Individuals who attend university and obtain the appropriate degree listed below start out with more perks as indicated. Also, sims that obtain a degree are considered more desirable and get their first eviction offense overlooked. If you are busted or not meeting expectations or other offenses, and you roll a 1, which would normally be immediate eviction, you can use your get out of jail free card and nothing happens, just a slap on the wrist. Okay, so setting up house. She will be going through college. I'm just going to tell you that now. That is something we are going to do. So hopefully she is going to be going through college. I don't know. I think she is going to go through college. I'm not 100% sure. Even though the colony is a utopia compared to the outside world, life is still hard. The modern conveniences are not available. When building your home, please adhere to the following. Your lot can be as big or as small as you like. However, your initial home may not exceed 8 by 8, and that's what I was wanting to know. So these are going to, let's see. We are going to move her to, I kind of want a smaller lot, 20 by 20. I like square lots. That's, well, no, I changed my mind. I kind of want to move her over here to a smaller lot, kind of out in the country. 30 by 30, that's a bit large. 20 by 30. I'm going to move right here. Right here is where I was going. The 20 by 30. I'm going to have to edit her before we get started. Because I was originally going to create a whole background story for and film it and stuff, but I'm not going to do that because it's so involved that I'm not going to add any more to it for me to have to do. You may want to consider building down at first using basements, as this tends to be a cheaper option. Ladders leading down basement levels are better alternatives to stairs if you like. You may start with a budget of 20,000 easy mode or 15,000 hard mode. We're probably going to do the easy mode. Your startup home may only have one bathroom with the cheapest toilet, sink, and shower. Okay, so here's what we're going to have to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to buy this countertop. Just this one will work. And we're going to grow her up so we can move out this family. And then we're going to have to get out of here and put the family into the, I don't know what it's doing, into the bin, because we don't need them right now. No, yeah, that's right. Okay. So with the cheapest toilet, sink, shower, you may only purchase one small dining table set seats 4 with 4 chairs of the cheapest variety. Your kitchen must contain the cheapest fridge, stove, 2 counters, and 1 sink. You may set up 1 or 2 bedrooms with the cheapest beds, either single or double, or have your spare room with a crib only. Each room may not contain more than 1 lighting fixture. Walls and floors must be done with the cheapest options. Free wood floor and $4 wallpaper. You may not, at this point, own electronic devices other than those listed. This includes fire alarms, security alarms, TV, stereo, etc. You may own 1 bookcase and 1 desk and chair, all cheapest variety. If your funds are available, 2 non-electric skill building items: chess table, soccer ball, etc. Why is the music on? I don't like that. I thought I turned that off. I do not. It is off. Ambiance off. Why is there music? Sound effects. There we go. Okay, so right now, she is an adult. We'll just pick that for right now, because I'll have to go back and I'm going to have to go back in there and fix her anyways. He is going to move his family out. Smartphone. Real estate. Move within this neighborhood. Then we're going to just bin them. So alternative ideas. One of the folks kind enough to try my challenge. Modified the house rules a bit, created a larger underground bunker where roommates were invited. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, so before we go on, we're going to get this all set up. We got to take her and her. They can't be there. This is going to be so. It doesn't matter where they move because they're not going to live there but a second. You can live here for a minute. I'm going to make this our active house. Why? Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, so they're not going to move there. They're going to move here. Oh, you're kidding me. Shoot! It's giving me problems. So here's what we're going to do. And then we'll just have to fix it to where they don't have that much. Because I cannot get rid of them. They're like, no, we're not leaving. We don't want to leave. We know you're just going to put us in the bin and never talk to us again. Which is exactly what I intend. 2 bedrooms, this should be plenty. Kick out. Yes. Okay. Well, this. Oh, wait, it's already done. They're leaving. So, obviously, we aren't going to need this. So, we're going to get rid of this. Oh, well, shoot. Okay. Can I do it now? Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do the family. Cheese. We're going to keep that there. Just going to clean that up. Just sit. Okay, just going to clean that up before we get rid of it. I can't just. It's giving me trouble. Here we go. Must be. Are you freaking kidding me? I just want to set this up. Just want to set it up. Okay, let's try it again. Grab a slice. No, I don't want to grab a slice. Clean up. Okay, so. Clean up. Okay, why can I not get rid of that? See, it's irritating me. Put away leftovers. Okay. Ha! Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put them to 20,000 simoleons. Okay, so she has the right amount now, and then the first thing we're gonna do is fix her. We're gonna fix her. Okay, so we're going to go over some of the rules real quick. The following rules are a list of colony rules. In order to ensure survival, please read them and follow them closely. I'm open to modifications, blah, blah, blah. Running water is a premium. Your home can never have more than one bathroom, although items can be certainly upgraded. No home can have more than one non-essential electronic device per sim living in the home for a maximum of up to 5. This includes computers, gaming systems, television, radios, etc. So anything that they don't need that's electronic, they can only have one per sim up to 5. If you have more than 5 people in your family, you can't have it. You can't have food delivered. You have to either grow your own or go to the supermarket. If you go to Premier Meals and a desired dish has a price next to it, you cannot make it unless you fetch the ingredients yourself and put them in the fridge. One person in the house has to read this paper. The paper is provided by the government. So this will let you know what's going on and the weather projections. Your Sims may visit the bookstore to purchase books if funds permit. Books are not delivered. You have to get them yourself. Pregnant Sims are given time off work. This time does not count against promotion time frames for their role in the colony. For example, if your Sim has 3 days remaining to earn a promotion and is informed they have time off work, the clock starts back up on upon their return. So meaning if they have to have time off work and they're getting ready to have a promotion, they don't have to restart. It just picks right back up where they left off. No dumpster diving. If you get caught dumpster diving, the counselor just reached 3-strike rule for criminal behavior. Described below under eviction, if you get busted, all your items you found are confiscated by the police and must be deleted. Because it's very upscale. They don't want you doing anything that would be gross or nasty, or they want they're trying to repopulate the world with what they see as worthy people. Only viable items in a post-apocalyptic world may be sold. For example, catching bugs and picking flowers is well and good, but no one wants to spend their hard-earned simoleons on them. If you don't want them for your private collection, don't bother. Seeds and common or uncommon plants that are needed may be sold. Viable survival items may be consigned at the consignment shop if your colony has one, and if they don't, we'll put one in there. Violence is not tolerated. If a fight breaks out where one of your Sims is the aggressor, follow the rules. For dumpster diving above, getting busted for violence is a strike. Public disgrace. So if they get caught doing something public, and basically if they get a moodlet for it, then they got caught doing it. And and they get a strike. And I think I got 2 pages here. This paper's really thick. Yeah. Okay. Adultery is illegal. As it may lead to children whose bloodline cannot be verified. If your Sim chooses to woohoo a married Sim, follow the rules for dumpster diving to see if they get caught. Getting a public humiliation notice is also getting caught. Getting busted means a strike, and any ensuing pregnancy will be watched very carefully. If your child is undesirable for reasons stated under the children section below, they will be immediately confiscated and removed from the colony, i.e. delete them. There is no opportunity to hide them if your woohoo was caught. Legitimate children conceived in wedlock or between 2 single Sims must be registered at the hospital. Home births are a violation of this rule. If you may have an unacceptable child for whatever reason, a home birth is the only way to hide them, as a registered child are watched carefully. Problem is, if your home birth is perfectly acceptable child, it is considered an eviction offense, and you must follow the rules for a pardon if you wish to claim them as one of your 3 children. Sim must provide 3 viable children for the colony. For Sim is within 10 days of becoming an elder and has no children, they will be evicted without opportunity for pardon unless they are expecting better. Hope it's triplets. Your second marriage will begin when your oldest child reaches teenager. If you have the woohoo mod, allow teenagers to get pregnant, or adults if you don't. Your eldest viable child should be used to reproduce. If something happens to him or her, the role falls to the next in line. It should go without saying, but alien babies are a no-no. Sims may throw parties if they wish, but this is not a happy-go-lucky time. Consider restricting it to special occasions. In general, ask yourself this question: does this make sense? Before doing something that is not outlined here, if you can come up with a viable argument why something would be done or exist in a post-apocalyptic colony of this type, then go for it. I'm always available to provide clarification if you can. Now the rules. The only one I'm going to go over, we're already halfway done, is the food production, because that is the one we are going to be doing. Required traits are green thumb and angler, and the optional university degree is science. The bonus for university may bring back the science research station upon completion of the degree. Everything that assists with finishing and gardening may be utilized on the research station. Do not use the radiation option to create plant sims, because obviously that's supernatural, and they don't like supernaturals. Responsible as you're one of the colony's essential food manufacturers, the role goes beyond catching a few fish and planting the occasional pumpkin. Perfect sims require perfect sources of sustenance, and there is a demand to be met. This is also very helpful in keeping your own food costs down for your household. You are provided with a quota or quantity and quality and quantity that must have been met by the last day of the fall season, or on every 4th Saturday if you don't have seasons. If you do not meet your quota, you must follow the rules for obtaining a pardon. Excluded food. Any special food, i.e. death flower, flame fruit, etc., cannot be sold, period. Herbs are also not count toward your quota, but may be grown and sold for additional profit. Bottom line is, if it's not on the shelves of your average everyday sim mart, you can't sell it. Stick with the common and uncommon items that the average sim would consider desirable to eat when it comes to your quota. Excluded fish, pretty much as the same as above. Some fish that would be considered undesirable by the masses can be sold for profit but not count toward your quota. For example, frogs, three-eyed fish, sea polyp, anemia, salamander, starfish, sea trilobite, goldfish, etc. Ask yourself, would your sim eat a sea sludge? Neither would I. They are common, and someone might want as a nice pet, but 9% of the population would not consume it, so sell them for profit, just in case someone asks. Someone wants frog legs, but don't try to count it toward your quota. No special rare fish can be sold to make it a pet or delete it. We're not going to do the difficult one. Demand quality. The following table indicates quality demand for the first 3 fall seasons. The 4th fall season beyond are rated the same as the 3rd. I don't know what that means. First fall season, we have to have 300 units of at least 5 varieties of food at normal quality or above. 30 units of fish at least 1 kilogram or greater. Second fall, 40 units of at least 7 varieties of food at very nice quality or above. 30 units of fish at least 3 kilograms or greater. The third fall, 50 units of at least 10 varieties of food at exceptional quality or above. 30 units of fish at least 5 kilograms or greater. We're not going to go over that. Responsibility. What is this? Okay. Okay, we're not going to do that. We don't care about that. Children. When you joined the quad, you agreed to meet a quota of viable candidates for the next generation. You are expected to produce a minimum of 3 children prior to becoming an elder. Here's the catch. Only the best are considered acceptable for future bloodlines. Children that are considered inferior are not permitted in the colony and must be removed or hidden if you want to risk it. Here are the criteria. Babies. Babies born with undesirable traits are immediately removed from the colony. Undesirable traits are listed above in your Sims section. Babies must be born in the hospital. See survival rules section above. Toddler. Before they grow up, toddlers must know how to walk, talk, and be potty trained to avoid a possible negative trait. Also, toddlers should be fed, if possible, homemade baby food instead of the usual goop fed in the high chair. You'll need a food processor. Child teenager must obtain and maintain an A in school through graduation. In your Sims section, appearance. Obviously, health and beauty are considered valuable. Overweight children are expected to lose weight before reaching adulthood. Children who are disfigured or extremely unattractive may not be permitted. Criminal history. There is a 3-strike rule with teens. If your teenager is picked up by the police more than twice, he or she may be evicted. See the eviction rules below. And then reasons for eviction, and we only got 2 more pages left. Getting caught. If you're attempting to hide something, please adhere to the following. Every time the affected sim leaves their home for any reason, roll a number between 1 and 10. If you roll a 1, you have been busted, red-headed, and the police are evicting you from the community. Rolling a 2 means you are suspected of participating in illegal activity. Take no action now, but continue to the next day and roll again. If you roll a 1 or a 2, the police have gathered evidence against the sim, and he or she will be evicted unless receiving a pardon. If you roll a 3+, the police found nothing and the investigation is closed, useless. You roll a 1 or 2 again, in which case the standard rules apply. Exception. Hiding children who do not meet the bloodline specifications is a serious offense and will result in not only the eviction of the child, but any other illegal children and one parent, your choice. As above, you only need to roll 1 role when the child leaves the house. If you are a single parent, you'll be evicted from the colony unless you can use one of the pardons outlined below. Follow the guidelines in number 1 above to determine if your child is spotted. Even if you manage to get a pardon to prevent a parent from being evicted, all illegal children must still be removed. B. Failing to establish expectations for your roles. If this is your first offense, add 1 to your role, meaning you won't be evicted. If you are a repeat offender, you could be evicted. If you get 3 strikes with the police, you must rule for a pardon below. This refers to the police picking up a sim for violating curfew, getting caught doing illegal activities or criminal activities in the criminal career, and you get notified that the police are taking you downtown. Keep in mind, if a house with illegal sims is being robbed and you call the police, they will notice supernaturals or illegal traits, so do so at your own risk. Pardons. You may be able to save yourself. Illegal children will still be evicted, but your sim may not. A pardon results when you are able to fast talk your way out of this by greasing a few palms. This can be used to avoid eviction for any offense. Roll a random number from 1 to 5 and use the following scale. 1, not your lucky day, you're still getting the boot. 2, a city hall official isn't impressed with your sob story but offers a chance to stay, but you will spend 3 days under house arrest starting immediately. You will not be permitted to leave your house or work from home, i.e. gardening. If you lose your job, so be it. You will also lose 25% of your family's You'll also lose 20% of your family's offense. Okay. If you roll 3, you've been a pretty good citizen and this is your first offense. You get off with a hefty fine of 20% of your savings. If this is not your first offense, the fine is 30%. 4, roll a pretty good smooth talker and you get off with a modest fine of 10% of your savings. First offense or 20% of your savings. This isn't your first offense. Roll 5. Who did you sleep with to get off this easy? Illegal children will still be confiscated wherever you walk away unscathed. Note, if you have a charisma scale of 6 to 8, you can get a +1 to your roll on one occasion, saving you from eviction. If you have charisma of 8+, you can add +2 to your roll one time and +1 to your roll another time. After that, you get no bonuses. It pays to be a smooth talker. About negative traits. If you're busted for finding a negative trait possessed by your sim, you must undergo rehabilitation if you're not evicted from the colony. What this means is you must randomize your traits by going under Edit Traits via testing sheets enabled. If you end up with another negative trait, do a better job at hiding it next time. Supernaturals. If you manage to avoid eviction, you will be required to either prepare or purchase an elixir to remove your supernatural effect and turn you into a human. Phew. That took a while, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Conclusion, if you are able to see the challenge through the successful creation of a third generation, it's a nice home with a plenty of room for your Sims and adult Sims to, in the previous 2 generations, are the top of the career or retired as much. You are considered the challenge won. At this point, the government, via pressure from the populace, has lifted the ban on imperfect children. The colony has followed your shining example and is now busting with new life. Congratulations. So, there you go. That is the rules for this challenge. That took a long time. And now we are going to edit her. So we're going to go to the basics. Her name is, I have no idea, Ella Cranberry. Ella, why, I don't know how to do that. It might be under makeup. Okay, so that's there. So why didn't excuse me, clearly I did something wrong because I thought I had downloaded some custom skins and they're not showing up. Ella came from a long line of farmers. Um, she um she hmm, she now I can't think. She lived with her family on the family farm, which was called Cranberry Farms, after the family name, obviously. And she's obviously a farm girl. Her dad was strict, but she was very close to her father, but he was not the kind of man who would let her, like, they weren't, her and her sister were not allowed to show cleavage or too much skin. They had to dress very, very conservatively. Um, and so that just became a part of who she was. She obviously she had plans for herself. What she would end up doing with her life. And she was very bright. She did very well in school. When the why is there only one? Oh, when the virus hit, her family at first wasn't really sure what they were going to do. Um, but they and her father was worried because he didn't want his children to have to go through that. He didn't want them to oh no. He didn't want them to have to go through the virus and getting sick, and um he didn't want that for them. But they lived on a farm out in the middle of nowhere, so he had hopes that they would not have to deal with it and not have to worry about it. But at the same time, him and his wife kind of knew, eventually there's going to come a time when it hits this part of the world, it hits our little part of the community, and we're going to have to deal with that. So, so, so they did some research. He discovered that it was possible there was a group who was starting a new colony that was free from the virus, but you had to meet certain expectations, and not everybody could be accepted. Um, they had a college, and their daughter was at college age, and they were like, well, this college you can send your teen through, and they might have a chance of going to this colony and helping to keep everything going. And they decided it would be a good idea if they sent their daughter there. Their youngest daughter was not old enough. She did not meet the expectations, did not meet the requirements to go, because she was too young. So, what? So, they sent their oldest daughter to this college. And that's where we're going to pick up at. She has gotten to this college. In the initial interviews where they were deciding whether they were going to let her go on to the college, wanted to know what she could bring to this colony. Somebody pointed out that, the way you dress and the way your hair is fixed might not get you accepted to the colony. Just because you get into the college don't mean that the officials are going to actually let you into the college, or actually going to let you in the community if you look the way you do. So she didn't want to, but she decided perhaps she should. She is hippie, like very, very hippie. So she decided, well, maybe I did not tell you to do that. She decided maybe I should, give myself a little makeover. She didn't want to really change who she was, but she knew that her this is something that her father wanted for her, and she didn't want to let him down. she really didn't want him trying to get her into this college, and sacrificing, um, and not, um, and her just give up and not get in. So she decided to give herself a makeover. Wanting to stay true, also wanting to make her father proud, and wanting to stay true to who she was. She did not want to show a whole lot of skin. She's very conservative. She grew up conservative. She couldn't show a lot of skin. She couldn't really wear makeup. The most she could wear was lip gloss. So she's trying to stay true to that, with also still being stylish and meeting the expectations of this community that her dad really wanted her to get into. Um, sh she was so she's trying very hard to meet the expectations, and knowing that, she she doesn't really fit in. She she is who she is, and she feels like she has to portray this vision of being somebody else in order to go here. But it's what her dad wanted, and it saves her, and she is very bright, and she could easily make a wonderful life for herself here. But there's still the fact that she is they are they are wanting her to become basically somebody that she's not. And so she is forced to stop and think, is this really what I want? The alternative is to going to the outside world and living there, and there being um, and having to deal with, the chaos and the ruin and the possible infection being out there where it still is. Um, so she is left trying to fit into this community that she don't really feel like she belongs to, but that she knows she needs to try because of her father. Um, so that is where we're at. I'm not sure of her traits or anything. We'll have to deal with that when we get there. Formal. What is she wearing? Surely that is not what she has as her formal. So that is what we're left with. That will not do. So that's who she is. There's gonna be a whole video and everything, but this challenge scares me, so I just kind of want to get it over with. What's that? No, that really won't. I'll just go with that. We'll just go with that. Sleepwear. She's gonna wear something very conservative to sleep in. She don't want to wear no frilly little nightgown, because that's not who she is. That's definitely not who she is. And I don't know if they have the one I want. They don't just have... Do they have pajama pants? That'll work. And then let's just give her a t-shirt, and we'll just make it like a plain white t-shirt. And we're just gonna make this a plain white t-shirt. And then we're gonna take that color and put it on the band or underpants. And that's gonna be her pajamas. Her family. She has not seen them since she left her home. She was very close to her sister, but her sister was too young to get into the college, and she wasn't old enough to start the colony, to start her own to be able to come to the colony and start reproducing. And so she could not come to the colony, which she does not like. She still has hopes. She keeps track of her sister's birthday with hopes of being able to go back and be like, my sister is a teenager now. She's the right age. She's 14. She's old enough to be brought into this community, and I want to know what I have to do to see if she's even still alive, if she can be brought into the community. Um, um, so she keeps close track of her sister's age in hopes that one day she can bring her sister into this community, so that she too can uh, be saved. But there's always that thing that her sister is in the outside world, and she's not here in this world, and she's not here, and there's no guarantee that when it comes to time for her sister to be old enough, if her sister will even still be alive. Will she still be able to be brought here? Will she still be alive, or will she have not made it? Um, that is something that stays very fresh in her mind, not knowing, not knowing. Um, and it's not a feeling she likes having, but it's just the reality of how things are. That there is that chance that her sister might not have made it. And there's no way she has to really find out. There's no really contact with the outside world. There's no way of knowing what really is going on out there, so for her to know if her sister is even still alive or not. I did not know there were monocles. Um, I forgot I was recording for a second. Um, yeah, so basically, she has no way of knowing what happened to her sister, or the rest of her family for that matter, but she knows that her father would never agree to leave the family home. Um, it has been in the family for generations. Um, there's always been a member of his family who ran it, so she knows he won't leave anyways. She can't have that. So she'll need, let's make her charismatic, or a bookworm. Let's make her bookworm. Um, Lifetime wish, perfect garden. That'll work. Peanut butter and jelly. Okay, yeah. Okay. So, this is Ella Cranberry. Her traits are angler, bookworm, gatherer, genius, and green thumb. She, her life remorse is the perfect garden. She wants to plant and grow 8 different species of perfect plant. She is a young adult. She's going to be going through college to get a degree so that she can do as well as she can in this community. First thing we're going to do is throw that away. My last bottle of water. I think that's completely out of the not important, but I think my community is getting ready to start up curbside recycling. If that's true, I might participate if they don't charge me for it. Okay, so she's going to need this, but right now we are going to get it out of her way because we have to, oh shoot, we have to create her house before she goes away to college. Why does she have so many cameras? And 2 high school diplomas? I don't know. So we are going to move her out here. Okay. Now, we've got to create her home. And we kind of want to do it like right in the center. Maybe back a little bit. Let's do it right here. Okay, so it can be as big or as small. However, your initial home cannot exceed 8 by 8. So we got to use the cheap flooring, the free flooring. I'm gonna go with this. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So there is our initial home. We got to make this work. Okay, so we're going to have a bathroom. So we're first going to put the stuff in there. It has to be cheap stuff. So I'm going to put that and the cheapest toilet, which obviously we don't want that. That cheapest sink, cheapest shower. So this is our cheapest. Is that really? $4.25. They're the same price. Let's go with this one. Because I don't think I like that other one. I don't think it's too fancy. Okay, so we are going to move that for a minute. We're going to make the bathroom. Okay. Gonna put it right there. And then we'll put a door in a minute. Okay. We also have to have a kitchen. I set up 1 or 2 bedrooms with the cheapest beds. I'm gonna do 1 right now. It's gonna be right there. Okay, so I'm tangled up. Cheapest bed. Where is the beds? We're gonna go with this. We're gonna do a double bed because we do want her to get married. And we're gonna have to make that slightly bigger in order to fit in here. Excuse me. Ugh. Go out 1 more. Okay. So we're gonna put some doors in here. What is this? It doesn't say anything about the doors, but I'm assuming we should probably use the cheapest. Okay. Okay, so kitchen, fridge, stove, 2 counters, and 1 sink. So And we gotta remember we gotta go the cheapest of everything, and I'm actually gonna go here. It's easier for me. I'm not gonna use that one because it's a mini fridge, and we're gonna put our kitchen right over here, I think. So, and cheapest stove, I'm gonna put it right here. 2 countertops, and cheapest, and this, unfortunately, this is the cheapest. Um, let's go with that color, I guess, because it's much better than the alternative. And we're gonna do another of these cheap sinks. Okay. Doesn't seem that can't be a large room, so a dining room table. We have to have a dining room table. That's cheaper. It's not really a dining room table. Step 1. Okay, hang on, where was I? Purchase a small dining room table of the cheapest variety. This is the cheapest one, so and chairs, which these are the cheapest. So okay. All right. Okay. So we need lights. Okay, so where was I? Each room may contain not contain more than one light fixture. Okay, so, and I'm assuming we want something cheap. Mommy, I'm gonna use this one. That's why I think maybe they should be 2 different rooms. I think they will. I think I'm gonna have to. Because that's not gonna give them any light. That really doesn't give them any room, though. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, so why does it have to be in that room, though? It doesn't say it has to be. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm still trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. Okay, I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so obviously it's gonna have to be 1 room. So I can only have one light fixture. That is going to drive me nuts. Doesn't say anything about windows. Okay. Okay. So it doesn't say anything about windows. So we're going to add some because I feel that it's going to drive me crazy without windows. So I'll only add a couple. Hang on, I don't like that. That's going to have to be another color. That'll work for me. But I'm going to have a couple windows to not be driven completely nuts. On each side, and that'll be right in the center. Okay, I can live with that. And then the last, wait, we're not done because we got more funds left. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is we got to put, well, not the last thing because we got to, stop it. $4. They have free wallpaper now, though. I really don't want to use it, though. They have in the way of $4 wallpaper. That's $4. I can live with that. Okay. So, new plan. There's what we're going to do. And it kind of brightens up the house. I'm going to convince myself of... So, okay, now we have one bookcase, one desk, and one chair of the cheapest variety. Okay, so blah blah blah. One. Okay, so we can have this, and we're actually gonna put it in the bedroom because we need something else in here. Okay, and then we can have one desk. Desk, the cheapest. That is the cheapest. We're gonna use this. Although that probably wouldn't really. That is, I don't want to use that because it's not base game. D5, the cheapest variety, they said. One chair. Okay. How do you get better stuff? That's my question. I'm gonna have to ask that because, like, if I want to build my home up, how do I do that? I guess as I get higher in the community. Okay, I'll just figure out something in my head and go buy it. I mean, I just don't need a bigger one anyways. So, there we go. This is our little home. I put a couple windows. I feel like I need one more window, and it doesn't say anything about windows. So, if I can, we're gonna have to rely on natural light because otherwise, this is gonna drive me nuts. That's what. Yeah, that'll work because we can only have one light, and that's just. It's gonna drive me crazy, but I'm gonna deal with it. And it didn't say nothing about a trash can. So what am I gonna do? Supposed to do with my trash? Take it out every time? She's gonna need a trash can. I've decided that she's gonna have to have a trash can. We'll just stick it right here. Right here. Stick it right here. So that's gonna be our home for now. Very plain and not a lot going on. Now back here we still have some money. So back here we are going to add another door. The reason because I have not shut off the supernatural stuff yet. Which I don't know if I should or not. So that looks like something she'd make at home, I think. So I am going to prevent zombies from eating our stuff, we are going to put the fence up against the house. The reason being that I've discovered that's the only way to keep zombies out, because they can open the fence. For some reason, they don't open your front door and come in your house. So, this is how we're going to do this. And, it's high. Oh, well. So, this should be plenty big enough for her to plant a garden in. So, this is our quaint little house. This is where we live. So, with that being said, this is going to be the end of this video, the introduction video. So if you like it, subscribe. If you don't, tell me why. This is going to be the Doomsday Challenge, obviously. There's a lot of rules that I've went over with you. I'll put links in the description below of everything that you need to know. So I am Roxy, and this has been Want the Sensation, and you guys have a wonderful day.